Did you listen to Jeff and Professor Hamo in the morning? Here's what you missed.
And welcome to Hot 96.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
African Women in Media. Tell us about it.
So African Women in Media is a group, a network for African women that work in media industries. And we've got our annual conference coming up starting tomorrow, which is open up for men and women in media, okay? So not just the women.
Not just women.
Yes, we're going to talk about the gender issues, but we're also going to talk about the media issues around innovation, around technology, around the business of media, new revenue streams and things like that. So it's going to be an amazing 3 days, and we're really happy to be doing it this year in partnership with the African Union. They've been absolutely amazing. So we're going to have several directors of the African Union there, several opportunities for you to network. We have our pitch zone where you can pitch your story ideas, and we've got 5 awards this year. So the winners of those awards will each get $2,000 to produce their own stories.
Wow.
And that's sponsored by the German Development Agency and the International Organization for Migration.
And this award ceremony will happen at the end of the 3 days?
Yes, yes. So we're going to end the conference with an awards dinner at Hilton Nairobi. So it's really going to be an amazing 3 days of kind of professional development, but also having fun, networking and awards.
Yeah. How many people are you expecting?
We're expecting about 300 from 16 countries all over the world. So we're having delegates from as far as China, Dubai, USA, but also South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe. We've got we're very lucky to have Open Society East Africa, who sponsored 28 East African journalists to attend the conference. So it's been an amazing support from all these organizations.
Yeah. And it's at the University of Nairobi?
So it's at the University of Nairobi Towers.
Towers?
Yes.
Or the new towers?
Yes. Beautiful facilities. They're very well maintained, so I'm really looking forward to. We're going to be occupying 3 floors, so we're taking over the towers.
Oh, nice. Taking over the towers.
Yes.
I must visit. I haven't been to the towers.
You should. It's beautiful.
And this is the best time to visit, you know?
Yeah.
So that you can take away some of this information we're giving, without being charged.
Let's hope that's the only thing you take away, Prof.
I'll take everything.
Okay.
Some of the Doctor, you were saying some of the speakers will include?
So speakers of, so for example, we've got Adele, who's our MC.
Adele.
Yes.
We were wondering what happened to her after she left that place, but it's okay.
Oh, she's doing good.
She's doing amazing. She's got an initiative, she's got a podcast, she's doing absolutely amazing. So it's a pleasure to have her on the program. We've got speakers like Catherine Gicheru from the Code for Kenya. Yes, we've got Isis Nyogo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Eunice Matthew.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, Yvonne Okwara. Actually, so many amazing.
Our very own Yvonne Okwara Matole.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
The cream.
Yeah.
Creme de la creme.
So, the first of these was held in Birmingham, where you taught or teach.
Yes.
And then the second was in Nigeria, and now you decided to come to East Africa.
Yes.
Why?
Well, so when I was studying, I had a lot of Kenyan friends. And I've been to Nairobi before. I love the city. I love your food. I love your, just the culture here. So it was a natural progression. The conference is an annual touring conference, so it's going to tour different African countries. So I had to do it in Birmingham the first time because I was 8 months pregnant at the time. So
your child is now 3 then?
She's going to be 2 in September, so she was born after the conference.
Well done.
So, and then the second one last year was in Nigeria at the University of Ibadan. So yeah, it's a natural progression to come to Kenya. Your media here is so vibrant, so I'm really impressed with the media, but also just Nairobi itself. The facilities are so clean and pristine, and I went to one of your hospitals when I landed because I came with a sore throat. So but I was just so impressed by how smooth everything happened and stuff. So you guys need to be really proud of yourselves.
Look at that. 2 people this morning telling us about the good side of this country. And here we are talking about corruption and stealing.
We have so much to talk about.
So much.
We need someone from outside to tell us.
Dr. Yemisi is our cultural ambassador.
Oh, yes. Welcome to Kenya.
Thank you.
Yes.
So a lot of people ask the question, Dr. Yemisi, African women in media, do they still have a long way to go? The challenges facing African women in media?
I think we've made a lot of progress in a lot of ways. For example, I was at Standard Media the other day, and they've got a network for women within the organisation called Her Standard. So the fact that things like that are already beginning to exist demonstrates that there's progress being made, but there's still lots of issues to address: sexual harassment, unequal pay, and just the kind underrepresentation of women in leadership. But then also let's say age discrimination as well. After a while you see that there's only a certain age group of women that are allowed on TV. That ageism as well. So there's still quite a few things. I think we should be proud of the progress, the achievements we've made, but also we should aspire for more. We should continue to kind of have those conversations.
Absolutely.
And to find solutions. And there's great opportunities too. So it's not just about the negative aspect and injustices, but also about the opportunities. We're living in a very innovative time with advancements in technology. How are we making good use of that? You guys are making headway in terms of M-Pesa and all this kind of technology. So again, there's so many opportunities for the media in that. And for Africa, this idea of changing the narrative about Africa, we have those tools in our hands now. So how are we making good use of it? So we're going to have lots of kind of panel discussions, but also workshops around a variety of things. Data journalism, for example. Yeah. So it's about looking at both the challenges but also the opportunities and how we're capitalizing on it. And it's about kind of collaborations and working together in order to achieve those objectives.
Yeah. When I was still working for the big networks, when you switched on the TV, there weren't many people who looked like us.
Yes, exactly.
Has that changed? And I'm talking the last dozen years or so. Has that changed?
It's improving. Work in progress.
So it can be better.
Can be better, exactly. Can be better. It can be better. Definitely work in progress. Definitely a lot of changes. I think there's a lot because of Twitter, for example. There's a lot more coming together of women airing their voices on social media. We have platforms like Female In. It's a Facebook group of 1.5 million women who basically use that platform to share their experiences, to support each other. And the founder of Female In will be our keynote speaker on the last day of the conference. So she's coming from Chicago to join us at the African Women in Media conference. So I think we've got so many opportunities that we should be taking advantage of and looking at how we can develop as a community and work more in collaboration.
There's a young lady or two or three or 300 listening to you for the very first time right now. When they grow up, they want to be in media. They want to be you or the person they look up to. Yes. What do you tell them?
I say it's always good to have a plan, to have your goals, and to work the steps towards them. I always have every year around October, November, December, I start planning for the year after, right? I know what I'm aspiring to achieve the following year, and I start working out the steps to achieve that. So always have a plan. Nothing comes just by chance, and also that big opportunity you're looking for on TV, on radio, and print. When it comes, make sure you're ready, right? There's so many tools online now that you can use to educate yourself, to improve your skills for free. Make use of that. Any opportunity for you to come and shadow your favorite presenter or your favorite producer, take those opportunities. When I was doing my master's degree in media production, I used to borrow the cameras and go out and do my own filming. I even did my own little side business, doing production for events and things like that. So making sure you use all the opportunities available, no matter how small. Not everybody's an entrepreneur. You don't have to look for the next Facebook. It's not always about that, but just be ready for when the opportunities come.
Absolutely, that's a good point. Also, are you encouraging them to use the tools available now with the digital influence?
She was running a website for 4 years.
YouTube now. I mean, there's so much that they could do on their own. And phones. You don't need to buy a $100,000 camera.
No.
Now,
a phone and the sun.
Exactly.
Use the sun. Just find a nice spot and just give us news.
Well, I mean, I started IQ Phonies with zero money because it was just a blog. And from as the traffic increased, I got an advertiser. You just paid me £600. I used that money to do a much better website. Then I just built from there and just went gradually until it was a proper company, and I was employing people from different African countries. So it's about starting from within your means. You don't have to wait for that big investment. And like you said, you got the tool right in your hands, your phone. Right?
Yes.
You want to start a podcast?
Yes.
Just press record and start the podcast.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait until your product is finished.
No.
You don't have to wait until everything is perfect. Just do it.
For a long time, African young ladies were being told by their parents, why don't you be a doctor or a lawyer? Why don't you want to go in front of that camera and do, why?
Why?
I think
Is that changing?
Well, yes, definitely. I think there's a much more appreciation for the arts. So I did my first degree in creative arts. My parents, like every other
They allowed you? I mean, it was traumatizing.
It was very traumatizing for them. It took them a while to kind of adjust, but But yeah, I mean, back in the day, you're either an engineer, a lawyer, a doctor, or you're a disappointment.
Yes, a huge one.
But yeah, people, I mean, look at the music industry in Nigeria, for example, the film industry.
Yes.
And just social media influencing. So these are social media influencers at jobs that never existed a few years ago.
Oh, yes.
So I think there's much more appreciation for the arts, the creative industries, the media now than back in the day.
Okay, if someone is tuning in right now, they just caught your interview halfway. Tell them about the next 3 days, please.
So, starting tomorrow, we have the African Women in Media Conference, which has come to Nairobi. This is our third event. It's an annual event, and this year we're doing it in partnership with the African Union. It's a 3-day event with 300 women and men of the media from over 16 countries all over the world, from Dubai, America, Nigeria, South Africa, all over East Africa. And you're going to be participating in panel discussions, in workshops. We've got our pitch zone where you can pitch to CNN, BBC, Voice of America, but you can also pitch to the German Development Agency and the International Organization for Migration for your chance to win one of our 5 awards. And the winners of those awards will get $2,000 each to produce their stories.
That is happening at the University of Nairobi Towers.
Yes, it's happening at
The
the
new
University of
towers.
Nairobi Towers, exactly.
Which are spanking new and beautiful as well, you said?
Yes, amazingly well maintained.
Excellent. What do you want that typical woman or man to come away with after 3 days?
I want them to come away with that inspiration and feeling that they can do it, right? There's going to be a lot of people to network with. So build on those networks. You're going to expose your mind to new knowledge. You're going to gain new skills through our workshop. But the network is also really important because working together and collaboration is really important. We've had a lot of success stories from our past events. So for example, our MC last year ended up after the conference getting their own radio show in Lagos, right?
Wow.
We had a PhD student who got a consultancy job on a film production because there was a film producer in the audience listening to her paper, right? We also had a lady who had spent many years in the radio industry and in the particular station, and after the conference she quit her job. Why? Because she actually now finally felt empowered to go out and set up her own production company. We also had a couple of ladies, because last year we were focusing on visibility, particularly because there was elections in Nigeria then. We were talking about women in politics and visibility for them. And so a couple of the people that came to the conference did their own mini conferences around news coverage of women in politics, right? So just that feeling of now you can do it, you know that it's possible, right? Yeah. So that's what I want people to come away with.
Wow. Dr. Yemisi Akinbobola.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
You're
you.
fantastic.
Thank you.
I hope you take care of that cold of yours because people want to hear you the next 3 days. I want to hear you.
Jeff,
Go on.
are you really Kenyan?
Why?
Can you?
Because I pronounced the name right. I lived in Nigeria.
Can you say it again?
Akinbobola.
Oh, sounds so fantastic. To change a lot of lines.
It's not Akinbobola.
No,
it's not Akinbobola.
You give it the I love it.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for doing what you do. You're really changing the landscape when it comes to this industry of ours and encouraging women as well. Really good. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Catch Jeff Koinange and Professor Hamo every day, Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on Hot 96.